your psychiatrist? Does he beat around the bush? What's he prescribing you? Lexapro, Xanax, it barely lets you function, but you can at least manage a dose to dull the panic. But now you never smile. The kids can't get you to play, so they feel like they're on trial.
What's up, everybody? I'm Skullz, and today we're listening to Disgustipated by Tool. We are closing out the Undertow journey, and we are moving forward. Or I should say backwards, because after this, I'm going to check out Opiate. I don't know how I'm gonna do it. I might just do the full album in one video. I know it's an EP, I just don't know how long it is. But I'm really sad and I'm really happy at the same time. I'm really excited to see how this album closes. It's just been all I've been listening to recently. Like whenever I'm driving, I'm listening to this album. I'm just a little sad because I've heard a lot of people say that this is their most aggressive album they've done. And even though I'm happy to see them like evolve and become a little bit calmer perhaps, it makes me a little bit sad that I'm not gonna be able to see more of this side of them. But I'm hoping Opiate's a little bit more like this because that'll give me some more angry Maynard. I like me some angry Maynard. But yeah, we're just coming off of Flood. Flood was actually what I was expecting this song to be more like. Definitely a journey through the instruments and less lyricism, things of that nature. But still, I think this song's gonna be like the Flood in a lot of ways. I'm guessing there's gonna be a lot of the band playing and a lot less Maynard. But either way, I'm gonna go in with the expectation that this is an experience, and I'm gonna try to keep the cuts down to a minimum. I know a lot of people don't like it when I pause too much, but I mean, it's a reaction channel. But we're gonna hop into this. We're gonna see how this ends. Thank you everyone who's been here from the beginning and been watching me go on this journey. This album has been a really fun experience. This has definitely been one of the most challenging reaction series I've done, but it's also been the most rewarding. And hopefully you guys stick around for the rest of the journey because I definitely want to go through all their albums. But all right, I'm not gonna waste any more time. Remember, if you're new here, consider hitting the like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell. Helps the channel grow, helps the video reach more people, and I appreciate it a lot. Now, let's hop into Disgustipated. Creepy. Okay. We got goats. Oh my god, dude, this is creepy. Okay, so sheep. I get it. What a bold way of doing that. I mean, if it's bold now, I can't imagine how bold it was back then when the song first came out. I definitely caught a little bit of what he was saying at the beginning. To me, it seems that maybe he was trying to show the burden of existence. Yeah, this intro really set the mood. You know, Flood felt like it was sort of like ripping the rug out from underneath you. And now this song feels like it's sort of picking up the pieces, but in a sinister way. Like maybe the narrator of the album, or Maynard, will say, maybe he lost everything this album, and then this is him being manipulated into religion. Because Flood ended basically with Maynard being adrift. And now, so far, I'm getting these vibes that he's falling in line with the sheep. Maybe he's telling the story of someone who is at his most vulnerable, being manipulated by someone else, which would really fall in line with this abused abuser dynamic that Maynard's been using throughout the whole album. But yeah, I'm just going to get back into it. Oh man, chills everywhere. I just gotta say a couple things. The layering on this song, the way they're building it piece by piece, it's goddamn brilliant. There's also a very Nine Inch Nail vibe around this. I forget when Nine Inch Nail's first album came out, but it's definitely reminiscent to some of the songs on there. The way this has kind of a march to it, and a lot of sounds in it just feel mechanical, and all the different voices and layering of the voices make it sound like this well-oiled machine, and that we're all just cogs, which makes complete sense with the sheep as well. But yeah, what I was saying about the layering, that's why this part has been going on for like 3 minutes and it's not getting boring. It's because they're building it up so well. I also think that it benefits from having the last 9 songs behind it. There's so much weight, there's so much build up to this, and it really just gives the song importance. I've noticed that with a lot of albums that end with a very long song, especially if you listen to it all in one go. Once you get to that song, it really feels like you're watching like a series finale to a show that's been on for years. Like a pickaxe sound. Oh, brilliant. I'm so creeped out. Alright, during this downtime, I wanted to say with like the pickaxe thing, it was like, felt like they were trying to push that whole vibe of slave labor. Funny, I feel like as a society, a lot of people don't think about why they're doing things. They just like are told to do things and then they just do it. And I get it, life is complicated, it's hard, and it's easier not to think about those type of things. In fact, it could be really ineffective to your success thinking about those things because you could really drive yourself crazy. But there's a madness in itself of becoming a part of the machine. It's important to self-evaluate. Otherwise, you might be part of a machine and you don't like what the machine is creating. The funny thing is, it's almost like the person ran away from the machine and now they're just in the woods hiding or sitting quietly, trying to figure out his next move. Gonna be mad if it's 5 more minutes of this.
It was daylight when you woke up in your ditch. You looked up at your sky. That made blue be your color. You had your knife there with you too. When you stood up, there was goo all over your clothes. Your hands were sticky. You wiped them on your grass. So now your color was green. Oh, Lord, why did everything always have to keep changing like this? You were already getting nervous again. Your head hurt and it rang when you stood up. Your head was almost empty. It always hurt you when you woke up like this. You crawled up out of your ditch onto your gravel road and you began to walk, waiting for the rest of your mind to come back to you. You could see the car parked far down the road and you walked toward it. If God is our Father, you thought, then Satan must be our cousin. Why didn't anyone else understand these important things? When you got to your car, you tried all the doors. They were locked. It was a red car and it was new. There was an expensive leather camera case laying on the seat. Out across your field, you could see 2 tiny people walking by your woods. You began to walk towards them. Now red was your color. And of course, those little people out there were yours too.
You know, I actually really like the silence. I think it made a lot of sense. It's really not great reaction material, but from an artistic standpoint and from a listener standpoint, if I wasn't doing this, I think this was a great choice. But yeah, this song really seems to show off a profound hatred for human nature. And it did it in a really cool way. There's a line that especially stood out to me on that end part on the walkie-talkie or radio or whatever it was. If God is our father, then Satan must be our cousin. Why didn't anyone else understand these important things? I really think just off the first listen, that might be one of the most important lines in the album. I mean, even if you look at something like the Holocaust, most people who are a part of that wouldn't look at the evil inside them. So many people only look at themselves as recipients of abuse and not abusers. And the fact is, we're both. And people definitely act at their worst when they believe there's no evil within them. Also, the whole thing about You looked at the sky and then that made blue your color. Your hands were sticky, you wiped them on the grass, so now your color was green. And then at the end, out across the field, you could see two tiny people walking by your woods. You began to walk towards them. Now red was your color. And of course, those little people out there were yours too. There's definitely this whole vibe of people wanting to claim everything and own and control. Definitely a lot to think about, but I really think this boils down to us being abusers and recipients of abuse. Religion is definitely a clever way to show that off, especially since we look at religion as this morally virtuous thing. And I mean, we've all seen those religious people who are very much like, oh, I'm better than everyone because I'm religious, because I am a believer. And those are those types of people who fail to see themselves as abusers. They just kind of use religion as a club to hit you over the head with. Or if we want to break that down more, to dominate you with. And you dominate things because you want to own them. Like Maynard was saying, like he looked at the skies, blue was his color. He wiped his hands on the grass, green was his color. Yeah, this was a really great song to really show you the gross sides of humanity. Even how the song started before it got quiet and went with the crickets in the woods and everything. It was very much a commentary about dominating people and brainwashing them into doing their work for them. And then I love how there was this whole vibe of him being reborn in the woods as he woke up. Yeah, this was a whole journey. I really like this whole vibe of the reverend farming people and even the carrots in the harvest. I don't know if it was the intent, but I got this whole vibe of like the reverend was planting seeds in their heads and then they were growing and he was harvesting them. And those seeds were of manipulation. I know some people said that Maynard's not a fan of religion and everything. I've heard that myself. I've heard Judith by Perfect Circle. And I really think everything done here was done in a very, very clever way. Even though this is very negative, it's very compelling because even though we don't like to admit that we have these abusive tendencies within us, we all do. Some have it to larger degrees than others, but we all do have it. And I think that's why this song really resonates, is because I'm always trying to be a better person, you know? And by doing that, you really have to look at yourself and be honest with yourself. And that's rarely ever an easy thing to do. And I have to say, when you can make something like this that's really enjoyable to listen to, that also provokes thought and makes you want to think about those things, I think that's an incredible ambition, and I think that's an incredible thing to achieve. And I really do feel like this achieved that. But yeah, I think that's where I'm going to end the video. That's it, guys. That was Undertow. Again, I want to thank you guys for taking this whole journey with me. It was a blast. But other than that, if you made it this far, consider hitting the like button, the subscribe button, the notification bell. Helps the channel grow, helps the video reach more people, and I appreciate it a lot. And wherever you are, I hope you're having a good day, good night, and as always, I look forward to the next one. Peace.